All right, so welcome back to the Wealth Building Journey podcast. So today, we'll discuss how to make your money work for you. No? So we're gonna break down things around investing and strategies to protect and grow your wealth. So our goal here really is to motivate our audience to make the shift towards financial freedom and take control of your life and your future. So let's get started. Yep. So hi Paul, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Dennis. How are you doing?
I'm good, medyo puyat.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What
Kasi meron
happened?
din ako mga
Busy?
sideline eh.
Oh yeah?
mm,
That's
well, pretty much,
so.
ano kasi,
Mm,
I still do music, no? So
mm,
actually here in our co-working space, I am inviting some artists, mga potential artists na nagre-record kami. Tapos I try also to market their profile, no?
oh, okay. So may music gig kayo kagabi?
Uh, Kinda like a rehearsal na towards
Mm,
towards what's this a recording, tapos a video shoot,
mm.
tapos marketing, something like that. Then later on, actually may mga compositions din, but we're gonna do that in the future. Yun. Music
Kaya
kasi
pala
is
po
my
yan. Well,
passion talaga eh.
correct. And it's 8 o'clock in your time at the moment. Sa amin kasi 5 hours ahead kami sa New Zealand.
Yeah.
So it's already 1 p.m. So tapos na yung umaga ko, so to speak. Nakapag-workout na ako, nakapag-work na ako, breakfast na ako. So
Good.
my back is actually, all worked out now.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
My back and my core. And I
Yeah.
was listening earlier about, you were talking about how to reduce your weight. I was listening to a podcast earlier about the Paleolithic diet,
Mm.
wherein the principle is really how to maintain a diet that is similar to or close to how the cavemen before,
Yeah, I heard of that, yeah.
so may fasting, may meat, pero walang carbo kasi wala mang carbo sa kanila nung panahon na yon, which
Mm-mm.
is very good, very good. And ang purpose niya really is to avoid cancer. So metabolic principle of cancer prevention and cure.
Mm-mm. How is it so far?
Maganda, maganda kasi it's really about, bakit yung sa mga provinces wala yung cancer na sobrang prolific na ngayon sa mga modern areas na
Mm-mm.
ano, kasi again, we're not eating the natural food, we're eating processed food. And
Mm-mm.
aside from that, marami tayong pagkain na hindi natural. Like if we're going to eat, we're having sweetness on our food, dapat natural sweetness like honey or fruit sweetness, not the processed sugar, all of these
Mm-mm.
things, which is what I'm trying to avoid as well. No,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
minimal of those processed sugar nowadays. When I take sugar, it's not the white one; it's always the raw sugar, the brown,
Yeah, yeah.
kasi hindi siya refined and chemicalized.
Yeah. That's good. Oo. Kasi ako, nabanggit ko nga before, no, in my first week dun sa bago kong meal plan, ang challenge lang yung preparation kasi, we have to do it early in the morning or, the night before. No? Pero I think it's worth it kasi iba talaga yung feeling pag balanced diet, sabi ko nga, ang motivation ko is that, I'm treating myself na parang may sakit na now, no?
Mm,
Kesa yung in the future mo siya gagawin, mas mahirap, mas masakit, di ba?
correct. That's a good mindset, no? Treating yourself like, what if you have it now? So what should you be doing to avoid to aggravate it?
That's right. Yeah. That's good. Ano tayo? Balance lifestyle. All right,
Kasama
sige.
yan sa
So,
wealth building.
yeah, I'm
Health is
excited,
wealth, di ba?
Oo,
Health
health
is
is
wealth.
wealth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm excited sa episode natin ngayon kasi last time we talk about the cash quadrant ni Robert Kiyosaki. So I believe in this major topic natin ngayon, we're gonna talk about the I, which is the investing, Yun. So siguro sa start, let's define talaga what investing is, and what is the role of investing in income growth potential?
Yeah, if we define investing in terms of financial gain, no, what we really are looking at is allocating resources. Resources meaning time, money, and effort. Normally, it's those three. That's your resources into assets with expectation of future financial gain or financial return. So investing is preparing now by accumulating or allocating this time, money, or work
Mm.
to have a financial result or gain in the future.
Mm-mm-mm.
So, for example, you'd like to put in education as an investment, financial education. You will have financial returns once you know how to run your and manage your money. Now, all of these things like or assets, as we said, money, putting in your money into the right investment vehicle, and then expecting a financial gain in the future.
Mm-mm-mm. Yep. Yeah, it's really, we're not talking about putting away the money, diba? So we're talking about really planting seeds, no, for the
Oh,
future. Oo. So it's
mhm.
really sabi nga natin before, no, it's an intentional effort and growth mindset talaga, no. It's a dedication and discipline, no. Parang ganon.
Definitely. The main idea is growth.
Yeah, yeah. So
And always about looking at growth potentials, not
that's right.
just doing something just because I think it will be. No, grow thinking intentionally. Where is that growth coming from? So you
Mm.
have to identify the money, asset, or effort that you're going to do again as an investment form for growth potential. So you have to look if there's a growth potential to that. Otherwise, move to another type,
Right, right.
right? So
Isang
looking
yeah.
for that.
Isang type kasi ng growth is yung tinatawag nating 'di ba, compound interest, no?
Yes.
So, how do you explain that yung compound interest to someone who really has never seen that in reality or
Mm.
in action, no?
Mm. Have you heard about this saying that, ewan ko kung totoo to, hindi ko pa na-research, pero Einstein daw said, marami kasi mga quotes na kinokonek kay Einstein because it's
Mm.
a smart idea, no? But he said that a compounding interest is the best invention that man has ever made.
Mm. Hindi ko pa narinig 'yon pero that's interesting. Yeah.
Okay, why? Because it is magical, but it is only because con- we have considered that as a form of our um, appreciation of value
Mm.
because we added the interest rate as its progression.
Mm.
Now we relate that into scientific form, like the Bernoulli's formula, no, wherein there's progression, no, parang a cyclic progression from small to infinitely bigger and bigger and bigger if you add a ratio of a certain number.
Mm.
So we'll probably share that in details later on. But the fact is, compounding interest is the idea of where which the banks, the investment companies, our accounts, our money are related to. Doon
Mm.
tayo nagre-refer sa compounding interest. Yan yung
Mm.
ginagamit natin para mag-grow yung pera natin. It's
Mm.
a formula.
Yeah, yeah. Siguro just to clarify din a specific example is that nag-earn ka ng 8% interest for 1 year, no? So that 8% interest, instead of withdrawing it, no, you're gonna parang roll it over as added principal so that mas malaki na yung magiging principal or base for the next coming year dun sa 8%, tama ba? Did I
Mm.
get it right?
Yes.
Mm.
So you put that into numbers. Let's
Mm.
say we have 100 pesos,
Yeah.
right? And then you put into a compounding interest of 10%.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, nag-grow yung 100 mo. By the time na natapos yung taon, 110 pesos na siya kasi 10% increase.
Mm-mm. Correct.
Right? And then next year, 10% ulit yung idadagdag. So yung principal mo na is not 100, 110 na.
Yes.
So 10% of 110.
Mm-mm. Mm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
200 21, I think, ang total nun, ano? Okay, if you do the math. So, tingnan mo yung nadagdag. Instead of 100 this year, another 100 next year. Kung binaon mo lang yan, if you kept the same 100 pesos in one space, next year, kung 100 plus 100, 200. Pero ang nangyayari, 100 plus 10, 110, plus another 100, and another 11 there. So 221. So in 2 years, 21 pesos yung nag-gain ng 100, ng 200 mo.
Correct,
Kasi
correct.
nagko-compound na nagko-compound.
Yeah,
Yun
yeah.
ibig sabihin ng compounding interest.
Yeah, yeah. So, isang question dun is, how can you be, what's the strategy ba para to stay patient? Kasi, kung titingnan mo ngayon, parang ang tagal naman ng 2 years, 3 years, So,
Mhm.
but at the same time, there's the notion of, that's really the, di ba, the framework in investing, no? Again, what's the proper mindset when it comes to being patient and disciplined na hindi mo siya withdrawin,
Kasi dapat ang idea mo is it snowballs. Pag sinabing snowball,
Mm-mm.
if you haven't seen, of course, in a place like ours in New Zealand, may mga snow. No? Pag pumunta ka sa taas, may maliit ka na snow. Pag hinulog mo yun, kumakapit yung ibang snow, lumalaki na lumalaki. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yung dati mo snow na to, pag hinulog mo pababa ng mountain, ganyan na kalaki kasi napuno siya na puno. So, snowballing effect. So, you have to be patient. But there is this, what you call the rule of 72 in compounding interest. This is when a basic mathematics, you will understand how soon can you double your money. So the rule of 72 works like this. Time equals 72 divided by interest rate. So what interest rate would double by my money, or how long will my money grow if I introduce this interest rate? So try it on your calculator right now. Let's say 72 divided by 10 or 10% interest. Ilang taon bago mo makukuha yung yung pera mo?
72 divided by
Madodouble
10.
mo. Yes.
7.2.
7.2. So ibig sabihin, at 7.2 years bago madouble yung pera mo. So doon ka ngayon titingin, anong interest rate ng ini-investan mo para malaman mo kung kailan magdo-double. So hindi ka na magiging impatient kasi alam mo yung period kung kailan dadating doon.
Right. Yeah. That's a good perspective, no?
So carry that simple mathematics in you. Kaya dapat the higher the interest rate in your investment, you know that the shorter it will be to be able to see your money double.
Correct. Yeah, that's a takeaway for me, no?
Yes.
Magandang yun, yung pala yung formula. Yung the
So
magic
72
number is
divided by
72.
let's say divided by 4%. Divided by let's say 5%. 72 divided by 5. Ilang years mo lang bago madouble yung pera mo. Eh di mas matagal 'yon. Pero kung i-divide mo siya by 20%, let's say papasok sa isang investment na 20% yung rate of return.
That's right.
Ibig sabihin in 3.5 years,
Yeah, correct.
doble ng pera mo.
Doble na. Yeah, yep. Understand. Pero yeah, I think that I get it, no. So, but while you are waiting for that, especially kung medyo limited pa lang yung portfolio mo, syempre, yun nga, meron ding principle of diversification, diversifying yung income stream. So, if you have that money and naiinip ka and then you see another opportunity, for example, another investment vehicle na mas mataas nga yung yung interest rate, or something like that, So, is it wise to diversify and move to that new investment vehicle as a way to reduce risk, or a way to discover, to grow further, to accelerate growth, basically?
Diversifying income streams is the meaning of that is really about not shifting to one into the other. It's actually having several.
Yeah.
No, para in total, if the one is average 5% return,
Mm.
other is an average 10% return. By weighted calculation, pag tinotal mo lahat yun, there's another one is let's say 7% return. On the average, you're in between 7.5%. Parang lahat na ininvestan mo nandun sa 7.5%. So ibig sabihin, pag tinotal mo lahat yun, kahit mababa yung isa, mataas, dahil mataas yung iba, nandun ka dun sa average
Mm.
weighted
Mm. Mm.
investment return mo.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
mas maganda yung makukuha mo return. And when you say diversifying income streams, ang target mo dyan is go beyond your current earned income.
Mm.
Hanap ka ng iba pang income na makakadagdag from your earned income. If your earned income is salary, go to another income which is investment, no,
Mm.
or stocks. Don't depend on your salary.
Mm. Mm.
If you have both of these things, then the other one is passive.
Mm.
Yung
Mm.
isa is earned, meaning you work for it, while the stock market is passive. Kasi even if you don't work for it, it works for its own and gives you return.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
And then it builds your financial security because you know that if you lose one, there's another one still. So
Mm.
diversifying income streams means creating more opportunities for you to pull out money out from later on
Mm. Mm.
if another one fails.
Right, right. Yeah,
'Di
that's a
ba?
good mindset, ano. Like, yung kanina pinag-uusapan natin is compound interest, no? Compound interest, parang, in a way, if you look at it, para siyang vertical, eh. And then diversification, yun yung horizontal, no?
Yes.
So, as a balance of that, tapos may concept pa of dollar or peso averaging, no, na
Yep.
you keep on investing amount of money on a monthly basis, no, and you don't need to monitor the the stocks, no. um Actually, just last night, I just want to share with you,
Mm.
probably one of the reasons kung bakit ako napuyat is that when I look at my ad account, yung sa Facebook ad account,
Mm.
which is somehow parang my bread and butter right now, no.
Mm.
Kapag tingin ko, nakalagay siya na my ad account is disabled.
Wow.
Kumbaga, nagulat ako na after 4 years or 4 or 5 years, ngayon lang siya nangyari, no.
Mhm.
Tapos ang reason na sinabi niya is that was this may mga automation daw akong ginagawa na against the rules, no, for some
Mhm.
reason. So nagulat ako, no. So napuyat ako, nag-reach out ako sa kanila, nag-submit pa ako ng ID. Unfortunately,
Mm.
na-reinstate naman, ano.
Yes.
Parang ganon. So that's what I'm saying, no. So if you are relying into just one channel na anytime pwede siyang yun nga, in that case, one business kasi or investment vehicle in my perspective is that Facebook ad, eh.
Yes.
'Di ba? And then if I rely too much on that and I'm not diversifying, wala na ako,
Yes.
'di ba?
Correct.
Yun.
Especially kung nagtatrabaho ka sa isang kumpanya.
Yeah, yeah.
Tapos nag-away kayo ng boss mo. Sobrang stressful 'yun.
Correct, correct. Yeah, yeah.
Saan ka kukuha na like, ang iisipin mo ng kagad, naku, may anak ako. Paano yung gatas ng anak ko?
Right, right. And
'Di ba?
yun nga, kasi may notion din nagiging complacent tayo, 'di ba? So, okay naman tayo ngayon, bakit ka nag-iisip ng ibang opportunities, no, or ibang avenue for financial growth, eh, ang sarap-sarap na ng buhay natin, ano. But
Mhm.
if come to look at it, anytime pwede yang mawala, eh, 'di ba? In a snap,
Yes.
'di ba?
Yes.
Yun.
So for me, the principle really is find out something that is within your control or somewhat within your control.
Yeah.
Normally, a job is within your control because if you do right, you do diligently, you work hard on it, you control that on a monthly basis or na 15 by 30 basis, 15-30 may sweldo kang dapat papasok.
Right, right.
Now, the reason being is that you cannot stop. However, there are points in time that you don't like your job anymore. Why? It's
Mm.
too routine, or it's beyond your principle, or there's an issue with the boss or the principles of the company that you don't go with. So ano mangyayari? Ayaw mo umalis kasi wala ka,
Mm.
trapped ka. You're in financial trap.
Right. Right.
because that's what you rely on in paying your bills every month or every day. So, and the reason being, you cannot stop is that that's the only source that you'll get your money from. So,
Mm.
if you diversify income streams, this is why investing is the word, meaning put some time now, because compounding interest, as we have talked about, only happens if you start early.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And this is very valuable to those who are listening to us na merong value of time. Yung mga bata, for example, na may sumisweldo or merong allowances from their parents habang nag-aaral towards habang meron na silang sarili lang sweldo pag
Mm. Mm.
nagtatrabaho na sila.
Yeah.
To show this point, no, I was talking to my children and their cousins in a Christmas party. Nag-hold kami ng Christmas party. Because I was talking about them, about investing, stocks, and everything. No, that was 7 years ago. And so my children have their own stocks. No, meron na silang mga stock portfolio, which I created for them, and then they just follow through. Yung mga pinsan nila na nakikinig sa akin
Mm.
na hindi ganoon ang mindset ng parents nila, na meron yung isa doon sa mga pamangkin ko, nakikinig pala very dearly.
Mm.
Tapos nag-research siya, pumasok din siya sa investing. So I learned na 4 years ago, nag-invest na siya.
Mm. Mm.
Diversified portfolio pa.
Wow.
So ngayon, although maliit lang yung kanyang allowance na nakukuha, or kasi nag-work din siya extra, no, habang nagka-college, so nakaka-earn na siya. Tapos ngayon, magre-report siya sa akin, sabi niya, Tito, yung aking Microsoft, 12% increase.
Mm. Mm.
Galing. Alam mo yun, nakakaintindi na siya at a very young age of 19 when she came back to me. And then nung umuwi kami sa Philippines in December, nakita niya yung mga bagong condo na tinatayo sa Pasig na malapit sa bahay nila. Sabi niya, Tito, 11,000 lang raw yan a month, oh. Maganda ba investan yan?
Mm. Mm.
So, because she has started her mindset of investing as early as, I think, 17 or 16 nung nakikinig siya. Ngayon, ang ganda na ng kanyang mindset.
Mm. Mm.
Lagi na siya although gumagastos din siya, nakikita ko magastos siya sa ibang mga bagay, pero lagi niya may sinusubi siya, may tinatabi siya for investing.
Right. Right.
And then, sinasabi niya sa kapatid niya, Zach, akin na yung pera mo. Kasi hindi ka marunong mag-invest. Ako mag-i-invest para sa iyo.
Yeah. 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 All right. So.
Kasi yung isa, marunong mag-ipon.
Yeah. 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 Sige, so sa mga nanonood sa atin, so okay, Dennis, Paul, I'm convinced, no, na dapat, investing in different investment channels or vehicles, compound interest, convinced na ako, no. So regardless if I'm an employee or a business person na meron akong extra overflow or profits, no, how do I start?
So you start with the mindset of looking for all these investment vehicles that you'd like to create your portfolio from. I mean, napag-usapan natin last time about banking and where in the bank you can actually find investment vehicles that they provide.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're not sure about how to do it yet, go to the bank. Ask them, saan ko pwedeng ilipat yung iba kong pera na sinisave ko into the investment vehicle that you provide. Ilang percent ang interest rate niyan or return rate niyan. Of course, they'll tell you, hindi to guaranteed na return. But on the average, historically, it gives us this one. Let's say, sabihin, punta ka sa teller, sasabihin mo, teller, saan ako pwede mag-invest? Naku, ma'am, hindi ko po kabisado yung mga ganyan. Kausapin niyo po yung business development manager namin.
Yeah.
Ganun ba? Meron kayo, okay, sige, sino yun? Tapos, yung business development manager na yun, marunong yun. Siya yung magsasabi, ma'am, dito po, meron kaming ganito, meron kaming ganyan. So, for example, sa BPI, meron kami kinuha ng growth fund, ang tawag ng BPI. No? Yung growth fund na yun, it gives us a yield of about 7%. So, you put 500,000 on that. For example, if you're a businessman, or let's say, as simple as if you're a student or an early employee into investment, put 5,000 or 10,000 initially, and then hulugan mo ng 1,000 every month.
Yeah.
Nagsimula ka na.
Yeah. And I think na-mention din natin before na even yung mga e-wallets right now like GCash, if you browse on their menu, ang dami na ring mga investment doon channels, no, and vehicles. Yun. So I think lang talaga, you just need to start small, 'di ba? And then feel the market, feel the the gains, or probably there might be some time na baka magkaroon ka ng losses, pero yun nga, doon ka matututo. Diba?
Okay. When the loss happened on paper, it's not a realized loss. Even the gain that you see on paper is just a realized gain, not
Yeah,
realized gain. So when we say that, yung let's say nag-invest ka ng 10,000 pesos. Tapos that 10,000 pesos next year nakita mo nag-report sa'yo sabihin, uy, 10,200 na yung pera mo. That's a unrealized gain. Meaning, hindi mo pa kasi withdraw eh.
Right.
Nandun pa rin yun. Next year, naging 9,800. So may unrealized loss ka ulit. Naman pala, no? Hindi ulit, no? So from gain to loss. Kasi yung 10,000 mo, yung 9,800 na lang. So depressed ka ngayon. But don't depress kasi kung di mo man ilalabas yung pera na yun, wait for the next year. Again, the averaging happens because year after year, it goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. Most of the time, it goes up altogether.
Yeah. True.
Because economy and even businesses, they will not allow themselves to invest on something that will go down eventually. You have to pull it out once you see the loss. And that's why if you're not sure, if you put that in the bank's hand or the business development person in the bank, siya yung maglalagay doon sa mga nag-iisip kung saan gumalaki. Yung kasi sumasakay ka lang doon sa talagang pinapalaki nila yung pera nila eh, because the bank is making that money grow as well. So you're getting a portion of that. They're using your money to grow their money. And if you are now seasoned, if you're now good at, then go to, let's say, Citysec Online, or for us here in New Zealand, Share Seas, or Plus 500, or whatever format that you would like, and then buy your own stocks.
Yeah.
And then if you have enough and they can allow you to loan, buy a real estate property.
Yeah.
Again, diversify different forms.
Yeah. So again, tama ka, no? So maraming channels, hindi lang yun, meron pang mga crypto, no,
Crypto.
and then yung mga index funds and whatnot. So there's so many, siguro one aspect din that you can look at is the, kung saan ka ba passionate about, kung halimbawa
Yes.
passionate ka sa isang brand, like Apple or Nike, pwede kang doon mag-invest, something like that, or yung
Yun yung ano. Sorry, go ahead, Dennis. I'm cutting you.
Yeah, no worries. Ikaw na. Sige.
No. I was just saying that's a principle of, if we dive later on into stocks, if buying stocks, my principle really is, and I would like to advise, just buy the ones that you know, buy the ones that you believe in,
Right.
buy the ones that you're using, because if you use it and you know that a lot of people are using it or buying it, then definitely that business will grow. But you still have to watch out kasi baka naman bili ng iPhone, dahil gusto mo yung iPhone pero ipabagsak na pala yung company, or may mas mataas na equivalent yan, let's say Galaxy or Samsung is getting better, then shift. It's the same industry anyway.
Yeah.
Iba lang yung brand, di ba?
Lilis lang ako, siguro I'll go to the extreme, so siguro as you know, it's inevitable in any economy na nagkakaroon talaga ng every 10 years or so, nagkakaroon ng recession, or mas worse pa is yung tinatawag na deleveraging, or depression. So yung mga ganong cases, for example nung nag-pandemic, what did you do with those investments?
Of course, you look at the things that you can hold on, and the things that you can, the investments that you can sell to bring the money back to you.
Yeah.
Diba? Why? Nung dumating yung pandemic, ang nireview ko kagad is ano nangyari nung Spanish flu. Because that was the closest pandemic that is to us compared to coronavirus. Nagsarado tayo, nag-lockdown, buong mundo, Hindi nila alam kung anong gagawin. Wala pang masyadong vaccine pero gumawa sila ng paraan. So it took them 3 years to 4 years to recover.
Mm, mm, mm.
Di ba the same din nangyari sa corona?
Yeah, yeah.
So, yun yung mindset ko. Anong gagawin ko in the next 3 or 4 years
Yeah, yeah.
with my investments? So what I did is look at properties na mas mura.
Mm,
Nagbenta ako nung kinitaan ko na, bumili ako ng iba.
mm. Yeah,
Kasi alam
tama,
ko, pag
tama. Yeah.
bumalik yun, mas mabilis yung growth rate.
Right, right.
I will not see enough growth rate later on at that rate. Meaning, if the rational or realistic growth rate of a property is, let's say, 12% per year, during that time, meron kang mabibili na bumagsak yung presyo by 25%, di ibig sabihin, pag bumalik yun, another 25% yun.
Mm, mm,
So, because you have enough cash from the investment that you already have had na pinagkitaan mo na by 12, 15, 30%, labas mo, pambili mo na iba, tapos magigain ka na naman ng mabilis dun sa isa.
mm, mm,
And that's how you become, you know, your wealth growth is faster.
mm, mm. Going back
So
to sa... Mm,
in terms of stocks, there were stocks that I bought and sold during that period.
right, right. Yeah. So,
And held on the others. Kasi alam
mm,
kong pang matagalan yun.
mm,
Like
mm.
the alphabet, like Google.
Yeah.
I kept it. My Tesla, I sold some, kept some.
Mm, mm,
My fintech, no, not fintech, robotics and AI investment, I kept it. Kasi
mm,
alam ko, hindi pa yun yung time na lalago siya or kahit bumagsak siyang konti, tataas pa siya. Ang hindi ko binili yung Nvidia.
mm.
Pero sana bumili ako doon
Oh, kasi...
and kept it. And bumili akong konti, binenta ko kagad eh. Pero,
Pero sila yung
it's,
pinakamataas ng jump eh, di ba? In terms of growth.
yes, but
Mm.
it happens to many stocks. So it
Yeah.
just, it's just a timing where you want to put your money in.
Right, right. So, yeah, going back dun sa sinabi mo kanina, no, one of your one of the factors that you look at when it comes to deciding kung saan ka mag-invest is if you for example sa stocks is yung say if you love that brand or if you're loyal to the brand or to the company, no. Pero aside from that, ano pa yung common questions that you ask yourself? Kasi marami talaga yan maraming mga vehicles, maraming mga opportunities. All of them are saying na maganda yung return rate, etc. So aside from that factor kanina, ano pa yung mga questions that you ask yourself, no?
So investing in something, um, things that you love, and also the opposite, don't invest on the things that you don't like, even if the growth rate is high.
Mm, mm, mm,
Because it's going beyond your principles. For
mm,
instance, for me, I'm a Christian. I would like to make sure that as a Catholic, I believe in the grace of God. So anything na beyond sa principles ng growth, na kahit mataas yung growth niyan, I believe hindi yun yung pagyayamanin. So
mm,
ibig sabihin, like tobacco industry or gambling industry, mining industry,
mm,
ina-avoid ko i-investan yung mga ano na
mm,
yon. Kahit
mm,
nakikita ko ang taas ng growth rate ng
mm,
ibang mga companies na yon.
mm, mm.
So okay lang, sabihin ko, it's sa kanila na yun, sa iba na yun, di ba? So that's one. But basically, it's the life of that company itself that you're investing on.
Right, yeah.
If you're investing on a real estate property, ano ba yung reputation ng developer na yan? Nakakabenta ba talaga yan? Meron bang magandang product sila na naibenta dati na nakapag-return na sa'yo ng maganda? Or if you're investing on a company, is it a long-term company? Kaya nga may mga blue chips eh. Yung mga blue chips, yun yung parang giant na it already has
Institution
been
na.
proven the
Mm.
test of time.
Right, right. Mga institution na companies, no, mga built to last.
Institutional companies, Meralco,
Mm,
BPI, mga ganong
mm,
mga
mm, mm.
mga companies.
Yeah. Sige, so this time naman let's talk about yung concept of appreciation, Kasi yung other side of it, yung depreciation, no? So
Mm.
um so the question now is how can you like identify assets that will appreciate over time? And yun nga, ano rin yung parang risk management mo, no, to make sure na you're not just speculating dun sa particular asset na yun.
Correct. The principle of investing is there's always a pairing of risk and reward.
Mm.
The more the more you have the idea or the education of all those questions na sinabi natin kanina, the better you are in measuring the risk and reward.
Mm. Mm.
So, you have to have a good risk tolerance. So, tatanungin ka rin kapag i-invest ka, let's say, sa growth index fund, no? Tatanungin ka kung ano ka ba, high risk, low risk, o medium risk. So, kung gusto mo low risk lang muna, mas maliit lang yung kikitain mo doon. Pero
Mm.
pag high risk ka, mas mataas ang kikitain mo doon kasi ilalagay ka nila doon sa grupo na nag-i-invest sa mas volatile yung, hindi naman volatile, pero mas makikita nila na nagja-jump yung ano, yung kikitain, yung investment growth. Pero pwede ring mo hindi, pwede ring mawala. So long-term mindset yung tinitignan mo. Now, appreciation, when you talk about appreciation, hindi yung I appreciate you na parang ay gusto kita. Nagustuhan ko yung ginawa mo. Hindi yon.
Mm.
Ang sinasabi natin na word na appreciation in financial terms is nag-appreciate yung value, tumataas.
Mm. Mm.
So the opposite of that is consumption, appreciation versus consumption. When you invest, allowing your money to grow, that's appreciation. Where your asset and your money that you put into something will have a certain percentage of growth in as the years or times move on, as opposed to consumption, which is spending. Spending will take out money from your wallet.
Right, yeah.
It depletes you from your wealth.
Yeah, best
So that's
example
the
ng appreciation is yung land, property, di ba? Na over
yes,
time, depending on the growth dun sa particular vicinity,
yes.
nag-appreciate talaga yung value niyan, ano?
Bakit sa tingin mo nag-appreciate? Kasi marami kasi nagbebenta ng mga real estate agent. Sir, bili na kayo, investment to, nag-appreciate yung lupa. Bakit sa tingin mo nag-appreciate yung lupa?
So
Mm.
the land is appreciating because if the area and the territory where the property is the potential of growth is big, and as it grows, it also appreciate the value of the property is also appreciating.
Correct. So ibig sabihin kasi developing area yan. So kung nasa city ka bumili, nag-grow na yun eh. No? Pero pag let's say naglagay ng bagong SM dun sa tabi ng lupa mo, tataas pa ulit 'yon, no? Mag-appreciate pa lalo 'yon sa city. Pero kung sa provincial ka bumili, for example, bumili ka ng 1 hektarya na farm. Tapos dun sa area na 'yon, meron pa lang gagawing bagong subdivision, si Villar. Tumaas yung value ng farm mo. Kasi pwedeng potential maging subdivision din yung property mo, or dahil hindi ikikip mo, baka pwedeng maging commercial location yung area mo. So, per square meter, tumataas. Kaya nag-appreciate yung land.
That's right, yeah. Ano pa bang asset na nag-appreciate? I think yung mga gold, di ba? Gold
Yes.
and jewelry. So,
well, jewelry is in the form of gold or silver appreciates because nakakabit siya dun sa gold.
right.
Or merong rarity dun sa jewelry na yun. Kagaya na na-mention ko last time, I bought a certain item which doubled its value. Kasi may rarity, naging rare. Ganun din yung mga gold and silver. Kaya tumataas ang value niyan. Kasi as in time, habang na-extract na natin lahat ng mga gold na mina na natin, pakonti na yung ano nun, yung resource na yun. Pero marami pa rin mga ngailangan.
Yeah.
So ibig sabihin, kung ako merong gold, tapos ikaw gusto mo ng gold dahil kailangan mo, let's say, para sa semiconductors or whatever purposes, or gusto mo lang kasi magkaroon ng magpagawa ka ng jewelry na gold made, no? bibili ka sa akin. So ang gagawin ko, dahil rare siya, kung gusto mo talaga, bili mo na mas mataas kaysa binili ko yun.
Mm,
So
mm,
tumataas din yung value ng gold. So
mm.
ganun yung takbo ng rare metals na tinatawag kung
Yeah.
bakit tumataas yung value nun.
Yeah, similarly parang sa diamond, same thing, no?
Same thing.
Diamond, oh, kasi because of the rarity, no? So,
Because it's extracted from the ground and we know there's a limited resource of that.
yeah, yeah.
And 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 why Bitcoin also has grown? Because Bitcoin was made with a number of I think 20 million
Yeah,
pieces lang,
yeah.
'di ba?
May limited, may
So
threshold.
ibig sabihin, hindi siya ganoon karami. Kaya
Mm,
yung
mm,
mga gusto magkaroon, ibebenta sa iyo ng mas mahal. So tumataas ng tumataas yung value ng Bitcoin. Pero ang nangyayari kasi sa Bitcoin, every 4 years, may halving siya, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, dumadami yung quantity dahil
mm.
hina-half. Pero syempre, yung presyo nun, kalahati din at that time. Pero dumadami na dumadami yung value. Pero may certain point lang na
Yeah,
magsistay.
yeah. I think 2 years ago na uso din yung mga NFT, no? Yung mga
Mm.
digital assets na property like digital paintings, something like that,
Mm-mm.
ano. And I think kung nag-jump ka dun sa bandwagon na yun noon, 2 3 years ago, ang laking ano nun, sana yung naging income ano no, na nag-gain mo from there.
Mm.
Pero ngayon nag-subside na rin yata ang NFT, ano? If I yeah.
Because they have discovered that not all NFTs are really covered with the right blockchain.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
ibig sabihin, yung iba doon parang PDF file na nakatago lang sa isang secured
Sabi
folder.
nare-replicate din. Oo.
Replicable din siya. So, ibig sabihin, sila, kunyari, sila yung Crazy Monkey na ang daming nag-invest, pati sila Justin Bieber, pati sila Stephen
Mm,
Curry,
mm,
meron kang meron kang ganong NFT, no? Bumaba na rin yung value nun kasi
mm.
hindi na siya ganun ka kumbaga nagiging common siya. Hindi
Yeah,
siya rare na rare talaga.
yeah, yeah. All right, so again, let's jump into another question, ano? Kasi yung ang ultimate outcome naman talaga na gusto natin, that's why we are investing, is yung financial freedom, 'di ba? As we talk about in the past episodes, no. So how do you ensure that these investments are aligned with the ano, yung parang financial freedom na gusto mo? Kasi minsan nakakalimutan mo na yung that particular output na gusto mo eh. Sometimes
Mm.
nai-entice ka lang lagi dun sa chasing after the gains eh, 'di ba? And the returns from the investment. Ano, minsan nakakalimutan mo na, napupuyat ka na dahil kaka-monitor ng stocks. So ibig sabihin, hindi mo rin na-achieve yung financial freedom, no? So
Oo.
how do you
So,
balance that thing? Yeah.
really, let's go back to the idea of what was your purpose from the start.
Mm-mm-mm.
And even especially if you have achieved wealth, you have to understand also where are you contented with, at how much level are you contented with.
Mm.
You have to you should not chase money, chase the freedom, because when you work in a salary job, that's what we call the rat racing.
Mm.
Kasi it was coined from the word, merong yung spectacle na yung may daga, tapos merong isang umiikot, tapos tumatakbo siya, takbo pero umiikot lang yung umiikot, walang
Mm.
pumupunta. Tapos
Mm.
so it's like a race, no, kung sino yung pinakamatagal magsistay doon. So that's rat racing, as you call it, because it doesn't get you anywhere. It's the
Mm.
same thing over and over every month, the same salary, even tumaas siya ng konti, hindi masyado. So the real value of financial freedom is, first of all, as we have defined wealth building is, gusto
Mm.
natin ma-achieve muna yung lahat ng mga pangangailangan natin mabayaran, na hindi mo na iniisip yun regularly. Sigurado kami magbabayad ng kuryente mo, renta mo, or yung bahay mo bayad na, yung mortgage mo wala ka nang babayaran, you're sure that that is already in there. So you're financially free. You don't have anything to pay for. If you live in a beach, na nasa kubo ka lang, kumakain ka ng natural food and everything, may financial freedom ka rin kasi wala kang ginagastos eh.
Right. Mm.
Pero what if you pay for medicine? Malayo ka dun sa medicine
Mm.
or any other forms of yung convenience, then you are not yet somehow in a level of financial freedom. Financial freedom really is once you've paid for the basic and basic is already covered, the rest of the things you will not be worrying about
Mm.
can also be covered. Like, gusto mong mag-travel para makapagpahinga, merong pera para pambayad dyan.
Mm.
Gusto mong bumili ng mas maganda namang sasakyan, mas comfortable na sasakyan, hindi yung second hand na luma, meron ka rin pera doon. So, hindi, wag natin i-chase yung kagaya na nakikita natin na gusto mong yumaman, naka Ferrari, bumabiyahe kung saan saan, naka gold, naka ganun. Sometimes flare lang lahat yun eh.
Mm.
Hindi
Mm.
totoo yun. The
Yeah.
real financially free person or wealthy person is able to stay with their family, nakakalabas, kumakain ng maayos sa isang restaurant, nakakapagkwentuhan, maybe play golf, because meron kang freedom na 4 hours na pwede mong gawin na hindi ka mapapakialaman, di mawawala yung pera mo, and still afford to pay it. You know, all these
Mm.
things.
Yeah.
That's financial freedom that we were talking about. So, passive income, pag sinabing passive, gumagalaw ka pero iba ginagawa mo, hindi about earning money, but your money is earning for you and
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
going into your bank.
Agree. And then there's this notion din kasi na yun nga. Sabihin na natin you already have diversified tapos meron pa din kasi mga worries like for example yung inflation. Sabi natin na pag nagkaroon ng inflation kailangan mo mag-keep up dun sa inflation so nagwo-worry ka pa rin. So at the same time parang you really have to be agile dun sa management of your portfolios. Otherwise some of it may fail or some of it may you get a lot of loss so
Mm.
so somehow merong worries, financial freedom pa din so ano yung point na talagang na meron kang comfort na okay lang mawala yan kasi I still have a lot of
Yes.
in my portfolio something like that
Correct, tama yun. Kasi diversified ka eh, no? Ang dami
yeah
mong
yeah
diversification eh. Parang, ay nako, nalugi tayo ng 12% doon sa isang investment.
yeah yeah
Okay lang, tara, kain tayo. Alam mo yun, labas tayo, celebrate. Kasi,
mm,
so, di ba?
yeah
It's all
yeah
right. Just like what I said, I missed out on Nvidia, but it's okay. I have
mm,
other
mm,
investments. You know, I could have made money on Nvidia, but hey, I'll make money somewhere else.
mm, mm, mm.
Di ba?
Right.
Um, and 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 as I said during COVID, uh, our business was stricken really hard, but it's all right. We have other investments that we can, sell a property here and there, or sell a stock
Mm, mm.
and still make money because you can still continue with your lifestyle.
Right.
So lifestyle will not be affected. It may change a little bit because of the circumstances. Lahat naman tayo na lockdown.
Mm,
So
mm.
ano ginagawa natin nung lockdown? Nasa bahay tayo. Yung mga walang trabaho, nag-alala. Lalo na yung nawalan ng trabaho.
Mm, mm, mm.
Kasi may babayaran pang renta sa bahay. So napaalis sila, lilipat sila sa nanay at tatay nila.
Mm, mm.
Whereas for those who have enough money, let's enjoy. This is the time for us to rest and talk together, stay together, have fun, watch a movie, what have you. Of course, the world was in a dire situation. There are so many people dying. And I've had relatives who died during that period
Mm,
due to
mm,
COVID,
mm,
and
mm.
it's sad. But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't you can't change the fact that everyone will suffer, but you have cushioned yourself in a bit. Nakapaglagay ka ng konting cushion sa sarili mo financially.
Yeah, yeah. And you still, dapat
Mhm.
vigilant ka pa din, Kaya sabihin na natin you're on that comfort level. Vigilant ka pa rin, agile ka pa din, You still look at your assets and investments, to
Yes.
like manage the risk, And then siguro
Yes.
have lang like, parang a threshold where you can step outside of your comfort zone and explore other opportunities, especially those opportunities that you're passionate about, like in my
Remember
case,
when we
yeah,
traveled?
yeah,
Remember when we traveled to
yes, yes,
Europe last time
mm,
for several weeks,
yeah,
no? We did you ever think na naku wala ako sa office? walang gagalaw dun sa negosyo, hindi papasok yung pera. You were not the
Yeah,
salesman. You were not the one who's really making that money. It's your people who's making the money.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And still, you can afford that expense, di ba?
Yeah, yeah. Dun sa, let's go back dun sa book ni Kiyosaki, no? Last episode natin is about cash quadrant, ano.
Mm.
Um, sige, siguro para lang for the sake of the audience, no? Ano ba yung tinuturo ni Kiyosaki dun na principle in terms of investing?
Okay, so the book after the cash flow quadrant is Principles of Investing, also
Mm.
by Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
So, kaya dun sa cash flow quadrant, yung progression nun is from employee or self-employed, going to business, going to investing. Kasi quadrant yun ng ESBI, no? You can still go to investing straight from employment, pero maliit yung pang-invest mo. You can also go straight to investing from a self-employed, mas mataas lang ng konti yung salary mo o yung income mo from an employee, pero um, still, you can go into investment straight, but still, maliit pa rin yung papasok mo. Whereas kung galing ka sa business, dahil yung business potentially grows faster than any of those two other forms, you'd be able to invest. So after business, you go to investing.
Mm.
Once you have accumulated enough earnings, then you go investing. Because you cannot invest something that you cannot use beyond your regular needs. Bayaran mo muna lahat ng utang, cellphone, payment, utilities, kuryente, tubig, everything, water, uh, loan, mortgage, after you put that money into investing, right?
Mm. Mm.
So you have to have that enough money, and the more you accumulate your great earnings, because masipag ka, magaling ka, then the more you can go to investing. And that's why it's really important that you go investing once you have start earning, or apportion your income from 10% to 20%, for example, na ilalagay mo talaga intentionally to invest.
Yeah, and I think you have to look at the long term and the short term, ano. So ano ba yung long term mo na financial goal, and then break it down into chunks, no. Like for example,
Yeah.
sabi nga natin may salary tayo, may profit. Ano ba yung kung halimbawa salary based tayo, wala pa talaga tayong investment, ano. Um do it one step at a time. Like you said, mag-allocate ka ng certain percentage sa savings, and then pag na-meet niyan yung certain amount, then you decide now to invest it in a particular, either a business or a securities, no. So something like
Mm.
that. So it has to be an intentional planning, short term, tas meron kang long term view of what's gonna happen in the future, no.
When you have this mentality of intentional investing, let's say you have a 25,000 salary,
Mm-mm.
all right? You wanted 2,000 of that 25,000 goes to investment. Ano bang
Mm.
pwede kong ibawas sa lifestyle ko na hindi maapektuhan yung buhay ko,
Yeah.
na pwede kong ilagay sa investing kagad?
Mm-mm.
Yun ang intentional investing.
Mm-mm.
Galing ka pa lang sa position of employment or salary based.
Mm-mm.
And then isa pa sa investing na gusto mong gawin is, ano kaya negosyo masa-start ko para tumaas yung amount of earning na makukuha ko, para mas malaki yung mai-invest ko. Kasi alam natin, nandun sa investing talaga yung paglaki ng pera eh.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah,
dun talaga yung aim mo pumunta.
right.
Pero, may ibang form para lumabas ka dun sa maliit na income na limited ka na 15-30 lang pumapasok sa'yo. Dapat meron ka bang ibang way. Kaya, again, kung may 2,000 ka na ilalagay sa investment, what if doon sa 25,000 mo, i-apportion mo naman yung 3,000, sabihin ko, ipunin ko to para may pampuhunan ako, pambili ng inventory. Tapos yun yung inventaryo ko, yun ibebenta ko, natutubo ako ng 10% or 20%.
Yeah, yeah.
O di may 20% ka, tapos yung tumubo na yun naman i-invest mo. And then paikot hanggang sa lumalaki yun.
Yeah. Kami ni Leslie, no, my wife, meron kaming shared na financial tracking system. Actually, ang ginagamit ko is YNAB, just to share. You need the budget. Kasi maganda yung
Mm.
app na yun dahil you can allocate budgets and gusto mo mag-travel, pwede ka mag-allocate monthly doon. Ano. So, ang rule namin is meron kaming certain amount in savings na pag yung pera doon is umaakyat that certain amount, ako hindi na ako mapakali. Kailangan that excess
Mm.
is mailagay sa either an investment or a business and what have you, no.
That's
So,
good.
yun yung agreement namin na we both agree na kailangan nating ilagay ito somewhere, no. Like recently, kasi meron siyang sariling business din, which is yung home interior products, no, which our business naman yan, family business, like mga window blinds, carpets and whatnot, and
Mm.
ngayon nagda-diversify na siya. So nag-enroll siya ng certificate course about home interior products and home decorating, and now we
Mm.
intend to sell na mga furnitures, no. Uh,
Wow.
yung furnitures, mga lighting, kasi madaming humanga sa kanya sa dito sa interior design sa co-working. Siya lang ang nag-design nito eh.
Wow, kaya
Yeah.
pala alam mo, tatanungin ko sana eh, sino nag-interior
Yeah.
design sa inyo? Ganda eh.
Yes, so siya lang nag-design yan. Actually, si Leslie naman gumagawa na yun ng mga website design even before eh. Oh.
Yeah.
Ayun,
Yes,
so parang gano'n, So, pag may certain, yun nga, isang rule of thumb is that, or isang personal, rule is that pag meron kang, namimit naman yung savings, yung pera mo sa bank na gusto mong emergency fund, and anything in excess to that would be, allocated to an investment, stocks, business, and whatnot,
siguro later on then is pwede mo i-share yan sa atin, no? Yung ginagamit mong app
Mm.
para mapakinabangan din na iba. Or better, kung ma-invite natin yung sino ba yung app developer niyan or yung
Yeah.
company na yan na provide
Oh, yeah.
so that he can speak to it. Kasi kung pinapractice mo, ginagamit mo, marami siguro interesado rin to use that.
Yeah, yeah. Again, the name of the app is YNAB, or You Need a Budget. That's the ibig sabihin nung YNAB or YNAB, no. At least sa mga coaching
Mm.
ko, pag yung the business owner is hindi masyado adept sa financial management, yun ang tinuturo ko sa
Mm.
kanya, yung paggamit ng specific app na yun, no.
That's
Ngayon,
right.
pag naman ang challenge niya is that yung financials, yung pag capture ng niya, numbers niya for the business. So tinuturo ko naman yung mga QuickBooks or Odoo on
Mm.
other ERP or accounting system application. Pero yung YNAB kasi um, iba yung perspective niya eh. So siguro yun nga, like you said, we can invite somebody or we can discuss that in more detail in our next future episodes, no?
Mm. I'll tell you a story about how we travel. No, Nona and I used to handle our own portfolio of stocks, and whenever the portfolio of stocks make income or interest, yun lang yung ginagamit namin pang travel. So hindi nagagalaw yung principal.
Right, right.
Tapos tumatakbo ulit yun, nag-grow ulit. So pagdating sa airport, bago kami lumipad, habang hinihintay yung aeroplano, pupunta na naman kami dun sa stock market. Ano naman ang bibili natin ngayon? Para makatravel na naman tayo pagbalik natin. Makakaisip na naman. Kasi go-grow na naman yun habang nagbabiyahe kami, nag-grow na naman yung
Yeah.
pera.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine mo that kind of freedom that you're
Yes.
able to do because you're knowledgeable. And that's why it's important that educate yourself first before investing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because don't have a gambling mindset. Yung mga ibang like mga sabi, sir, but hindi ka mag-trading, mas malaki kinikita. That's kind of gambling. Kasi ang binibili mong stocks, yung mga volatile, yung biglang umaakyat, biglang bumababa. Para inaabangan mo kung tumaas na ng 12%, 25%, kunin mo benta mo na kagad, tapos bili ka ng bago. That's kind of gambling. Pag hindi mo sigurado, parang itataya mo yung pera mo, baka mawala. Yeah, niisip mo yung investment mo, pwedeng mawala. Pero ayaw mo mawala yun. Pera yun, pinaghirapan mo yun.
Just like yung natawa ko dun sa sinabi mo kanina, no? So kasi meron akong ganun din kami ni Leslie na since meron akong passive income, no, and yung that passive income, I get prompted by my phone, no, na may pumasok na 2,000 pesos May pumasok
Mm-mm.
na 3,000 pesos or something like that. Ano, minsan, we are trying to decide saan kami magdi-dinner. Oy,
Mm.
masyado naman yata expensive dyan. Maya-maya
Mm.
nag-pop up yung oy, may naka-receive ka ng 3,000 pesos. Oy, okay na,
O,
meron na
sige,
tayong
pwede na.
budget.
Totoo yan. Maganda yung ganun, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung pumapasok lang yung pera
Mm-mm,
sa'yo at
mm-mm,
hindi ka nag-worry na magde-decide anong gagawin mo sa isang bagay. I would relate to like people who are keep on buying things, no? New
mm-mm,
shoes,
mm-mm,
new bags, new golf set. Yung mga,
mm-mm,
people are always into the new things. Whereas yung golf set ko siguro 5 years bago ko papalitan. Pero
mm-mm,
once na nagpalit ako, yung state of the art,
mm-mm,
kasi kaya ko yun eh, ma-afford ko.
mm-mm,
To be
mm-mm,
honest, any time of the year in the last 5 years, kaya ko yun. But my
mm-mm,
point is, why spend my money there?
mm-mm.
Napapakinabangan ko pa naman siya.
Yeah,
So, bibili na lang ako pag gusto ko na. So, because you are able to afford it, you're not afraid to spend it.
right. Yeah, yeah. Agree, agree. Um, kanina we talk about yun nga, yung recession, deleveraging, ganyan. Kasi tawag natin doon yung economic cycle, ano? It's inevitable. No,
Mm.
siguro very quick lang kasi ano yan pag tumataas yung yung market, yung economy, and then darating talaga sa point na magkakaroon ng recession,
Mm-mm.
because of darating sa point kasi na yung spend ng economy is hindi maka-keep up yung supply, no?
Market
Ah,
correction.
yeah, tapos inflation, tapos halo-halo na yan, tumataas na yung interest rate, wala na makautang, etc. So, and ano yan paulit-ulit yan 'di ba? So the question now is ano yung role ng liquidity or dun sa inevitable thing ng or parang somehow how can you secure your financial freedom, dun sa economic cycles na yan.
Okay. If you have the right investment portfolio,
Mm.
as mentioned earlier, even the economy goes into the ups and the downs of the
Mm.
cycle,
Mm. Mm.
balansyado ka.
Mm. Mm.
And that's why you invest, you protect yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there are really items that once the economy change, especially on the downturn, which is scary, your income will change. For
Mm.
instance, will your salary be the same salary when economy goes down? Maybe if the company is still alive.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
What if they start deciding to remove half of its employees kasama ka
Mm.
from this amount to zero?
Yeah, yeah.
Then magsa-struggle ka na naman maghanap ng ibang trabaho. Good luck kung meron ka makuha trabaho na the same salary or better. Kung
Mm.
hindi, tatsagain mo or you'll accept to get a salary kahit bababa basta may salary lang. Then significantly na-reduce na yung income mo.
Mm.
And that's why in economic downturn, being an investor, you are protected.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have a buffer against financial crisis.
Yeah.
Also, during financial crisis, si Robert Kiyosaki, lagi niya sinasabi ito I make more money when the financial crisis is down or is there. Sabi niya, when
Mm.
economy is down, I make more money. Kung naririnig mo siya, di ba? Ganun yung mga lagi niya sinasabi. Totoo yun kasi may pera siya
Mm.
As I said, you buy cheaper things during financial crisis. Those who are needing to sell stuff
Mm. Right,
are
right.
selling it cheaper just to get rid of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're there to grab the opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. And maganda yun, yung sinabi mo nga na, the reason why you invest is to secure you, no? Dun sa mga economic cycles na yan, mga recessions and financial crisis, no? Which leads to the question naman of, what is the relevance of time, no? What is the role of time in wealth building?
Because we have discussed about compounding interest, isang factor dyan is time. As
Mm.
we talked about earlier, the formula of the rule of 72, wherein you want to see how soon you'll make your money double, depending on the interest rate.
Mm.
So Kung gusto mong lumaki yung pera mo at a faster rate, look for an investment with a higher interest rate. Or
Mm-mm.
let's say you're stuck with that kind of interest rate, then you know that your money will grow in the future. So time is an element. Kung yun lang yung interest rate na available, let's say, again, lagay natin, 12% lang yung ginagamit ko kasi yan yung pinaka-average na magandang investan. And
Mm-mm.
yun din yung realistic. Pag na meron ka nakita nagsasabi, put your money here, invest 20% ang return or 50% ang return, magduda ka.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Too good to be true.
Hindi. Too good to be true.
Mm-mm.
Too good to be true.
Yeah.
So, unless alam mo talaga kung ano yan,
Mm-mm.
pinag-aralan mo or may idea ka na bagong technology yan, that's something that you really have to research on. However, if you're a newbie, neophyte, be afraid of anything beyond 12%. Maganda na yung 12%. Between 8 to 12%. So, having said that, if you're stuck with, let's say, on the average 10% interest rate, then start
Mm.
early. Kasi nga, you wanted to grow that money using compounding interest.
Mm-mm. That's right. Yep. Okay. Sige, so yung mga pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, ano, these are like concepts and basically educational content, ano, about these things, no. Pero what comes to your mind na when it comes to a particular use case or a story, no, that has transformed somebody into financial freedom?
Um, I have seen several people who have decided to not just put their money in the business
Hmm.
and risk their money growing through business. Talagang linagay nila yung pera nila by diversifying into investment.
Hmm.
Um, Meron akong kilala, for example, dito, nakakuha siya ng major franchise. After niya nakuha yung major franchise, lumaki yung kanyang business. Habang lumalaki yung business niya, linigay niya sa investment real properties. And now, I think he's running 11 real estate properties. Pinaparenta niya, isa tinitirahan niya, so 10 yung pinaparentahan niya.
Hmm.
Kaya niyang i-give up ngayon yung kanyang business and sold his business early and run only a small business, you know, just to keep additional money coming in. But by real estate itself, meron na siyang regular na income. And alam
Hmm.
niya na once, let's say, gusto niya ng mas malaking pera, benta niya isa, million agad yun.
Hmm. Hmm. Right.
Pwede niyang gamitin for something.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then, and so on. So, secured for life.
Yeah, yeah. And I
Okay,
think
and
yung
that's what we're trying to do as well ourselves. No, as I mentioned earlier, investment was our way of going to trips without uh, yung magalaw yung principal, without
mm,
touching your principal amount. Only
correct.
the interest that has grown from there
Yeah,
is what
yeah.
you use for leisure.
Yeah. And I think yung ano yung common parang thread ng people who achieve financial freedom is ano tama ka yung pinag-usapan natin about dun sa cash flow quadrant, ano. Business and investment talaga yung uh, path going to financial freedom. At the same time, yung mindset, ano. So I think yung common thread nga nakita ko talaga is that people who are wealthy is ano very yung mga choices nila sa buhay, they are very intentional, they are aware of what to do, and they are disciplined, and mataas yung kanilang, what do you call that, motivation ba, yung
Mm.
willpower, no, in doing things, no. The first thing is believe that this is the path towards financial freedom. The next thing is act on it, no. Similarly to
Mm.
other projects in life, no, for example diet, gusto mo mag-lose ng weight, talagang dapat intentional kang gagawin mo siya on a daily basis. You have to be mindful about it, no.
Meron kang process na tinitignan.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah.
Meron kang pathway na sinusundan.
Mm, mm.
And then meron kang disiplina na kinikip.
Yeah, yeah.
And then meron kang vision na gustong ma-achieve.
Right. Mm.
Of
Nice.
all
Mm.
those formula put together, hindi magfe-fail. You will
Mm.
build your wealth surely.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. We can wrap it up.
Yes,
Mm-mm.
that's good.
Yeah, so siguro any closing thoughts or remarks?
Well, I my advice to those who are going to investing, we talked about compounding interest, and time is a an essence. So
Mm.
if you start early, the better you'll have this compounding interest work for you faster. Now, kung late naman, let's say, nako, 55 na ako, paano na yung investment? 55 ka pa lang. Kung ang buhay mo, abuti ka na 75 to 85.
Matagal pa 'yon.
20 years pa yun.
Mm.
30 years pa yun. So, marami ka pa talagang panahon. Sabi nga natin, nagdodoble pera mo after 7 years in the rule of 72 of
Mm.
12%.
Mm.
Bakit hindi mo simulan ngayon? Ilang 7 years yung 35 years from now?
Mm. Right.
Ang dami. So, ibig sabihin, kung gusto mo dumoble pera mo, magsimula ka na.
Yeah. That's yeah, very well said. And again, siguro to some of you, no, kung may GCash ka diyan, may laman na 500 pesos 'yan. And meron ka namang pera sa bank, 'di ba? I-open mo
Yes.
lang yung G-Fund, lagay mo yung pera mo doon, 500 pesos or what have you. And then see, after 3 months, 6 months, no, nakita mo nag-earn ng something, yun. So, mag-ano ka naman, gawin mong compounding interest, di ba? Yun na yung
Mhm.
start, and then try another channel, and then try another channel. Sabi mo nga kanina, try a bank or something like that. Yun,
Kesa
so,
yung maghanap ka na naman ng bibilhin doon sa pera na nandun sa GCash. Kung may pera
correct,
yung
correct.
GCash ko, maghahanap nga akong bibilhan na pwedeng GCash yung pambayad. Hindi, wag ganun.
Yes.
Isipin mo, ilipat ko nga muna doon. Kasi
Mm.
8%, ang ganda nun ha. Di ba sinabi mo,
Mm-mm.
8%
Yeah, yeah.
yung third.
Correct, correct. Okay, so and that's it for today. Today's episode about wealth building journey podcast. No, so again, investing is more than a financial decision. It's actually a lifestyle, a mindset. Sabi nga natin, it's choice of
Mm.
for freedom. So every peso you invest today is a step towards financial independence for the future. Yun. So remember, yun nga, wealth is built one decision at a time, one step at a time. So you don't just listen to this podcast, you have to act on it, and then make the decision to grow. So thanks for joining, and keep investing, not just in your money but in your future. So until next time, take that step and build that wealth. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.